Now,
Hmm.
your story is unique because you did end up with 11 children. And I know that probably wasn't something when you initially got together, did you say, we want to have 11 kids or as many as God wants us to have? Or did you have maybe a smaller goal in mind initially? What did you think when
I
you guys
think
got together?
so. I remember when we were courting, I remember saying something about 10 kids. Jerry doesn't remember that, but, and I don't know if I was joking about it. Who knows? But along the way, as we got closer to the time and started having children, actually, we both thought five was a great number because I was one of five and he was one of five. And five, worked for our families. That should be a good number. But, God has other plans for our lives.
Mhm.
And after I had three easy, I would say easy pregnancies, births, and then I had two miscarriages. One was quite late and one was early. And that's when we started questioning, oh, maybe we'll only have three kids and that will be it. And I started reading books and I talked to my brother who currently has 10 children. And I said, what made you think about having more kids? And so he recommended a book to me that I read, and I was like, wow, if we could, what would you think? I read parts of this book to Jerry. It was called Children, a Blessing or a Burden.
Mhm.
And Jerry was like, wow, we've allowed God to be in charge of all these other areas of our life, like our finances and our health and our education, educating our own children. What if we allow God to be in charge of the size of our family? And it's very freeing, actually, to know that I never have to say, oh, what if this is my last one? Or, oh, this is my last one. It was very freeing to be able to even enjoy each other physically without having to worry, oh, what if? And not looking at pregnancy as a negative and just seeing it as a positive. And another welcome, his motto was always, there's always room for one more.
Ah,
And I had a friend also who decided to allow God to plan the size of her family and never had any more children. So I thought, it could happen that we don't have any more. But God did
mhm.
bless us. And my fourth child was an extra blessing because of the previous miscarriages. So I had James and Matthew, and then I had two more miscarriages, one late. And I was again, it was like, oh, is this
Mhm.
is this it? And then God blessed us with
Mhm.
five more. So you never know what's going to happen. I
Mhm.
when I look back now, my youngest is 19. So it just seems like so far away when all those little ones around. But at the time, it seemed like it's never going to end. It's always going to be like this.